Pavani.
Yes, sir. Good evening,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Shall we start
Good
the
evening,
class?
sir.
Good
Let's
evening.
start.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my dear friends, all of you. Okay. Nice to see you. Okay. Today we are going to discuss one of the important area, that is some of the plant diseases. So diseases in plants or plant disease caused by bacteria. So bacterial diseases we are going to discuss today's class. One is angular leaf spot of cotton, and the second one is the bacterial blight in paddy or bacterial blight of paddy. So these are the two topics we are going to discuss today's class. Okay, shall we share my screen?
Yes, sir. Share it, sir.
Okay. Okay, share. Okay. It is visible?
Yeah,
Screen.
sir.
Okay, very
Visible.
okay, very good evening, my dear friends. In the faculty exchange program, we are met here in the Google platform. Red Women's College has given to me a wonderful opportunity to share my knowledge with you. This nice evening, we are here. So today we are going to discuss about two important plant diseases, that is angular leaf spot of cotton, and the second one is the bacterial blight of paddy. Okay, so this slide is visible, angular leaf spot of cotton.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Right. So these are the some images we are observed in this screen. This is the cotton leaf, you know. So this cotton leaf is it is a simple leaf, and the leaf is the leaf lamina is going to divide into a lobes, but not completely divided, but they are lobed. See here, these are the three lobes we are observed here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So this is the leaf lamina, but the green leaf lamina have the different spots. You know, the black, blackish, brownish spots we are observed on the surface of the leaf. Okay, so this is nothing but angular leaf spot of cotton disease. So the casual organism of this casual organism of this angular leaf spot of cotton is Xanthomonas oxynopodas. Okay, oxynopodis, plant variety. PV means plant variety Malvacearum. So our plant, cotton plant, what is the scientific name of cotton plant, my dear friends? Gossypium herbaceum or Gossypium hirsutum or Gossypium barbadens. These are some of the other scientific names, different species of our Gossypium species. But this Gossypium species belongs to Malvaceae family. So that's why the Xanthomonas oxynopodis is the casual organism. The plant variety of this disease is Malvacearum. This is also known as bacterial leaf spots or vein blight or ball rot or black arm disease of cotton. Okay, this is also known as bacterial leaf spot, vein blight, okay, and the ball rot or black arm disease. Okay, then what are the symptoms we are observed in the different parts of the plants, especially the leaves, especially leaves, and even though the fruit of the cotton, the fruit of the cotton we can call as cotton bolls. What we can say that? Cotton bolls. So cotton boll is also showing different spots on the surface or pericarp or of the fruit. See here, these are the spots we are observed on the leaf surface. So these symptoms, the dark green or water soaked angular lesions across the leaves and bracts also, along with leaves along with bracts also show the symptoms of this angular leaf spot, especially under the surface of leaves. See here, under the surface of leaves we are observed the spots. These are the symptoms, and sometimes even though the extensive dark green regions we are observed in this on the surface of the leaf, the water-soaked lesions along the veins known as vein blight. What we can say that? Vein blight. Then dark green or water-soaked greasy circular across the balls. See here. Across the balls, not only the tip of the ball or even though the bottom of the ball, not only the areas but also the entire across the balls, the entire surface effect of this cotton angular leaf spot of cotton disease. When the cotton balls are mature stage, the lesions going to dry out and prevent normal ball opening. So it is called ball rot. We can say that ball rot. What we can say that? Ball rot. Okay. Then what are the favorable conditions for the disease of angular leaf spot cotton? Okay. The temperature is one of the major factor for the spreading of this angular leaf spot of cotton disease. So the favorable temperature is temperature degrees. How many degrees?
25 degrees, sir.
25 degrees Celsius is favorable for the spreading over the entire croplands. And the relative humidity exceeds 85%. So the moisture content is also very important factor for the spreading of this angular leaf spot cotton disease. So the exceeds 85 degrees Celsius, 85% of the humidity or relative humidity is very favorable factors for the spreading of this disease. And even though along with this temperature and humidity, the low organic matter in soils also suitable for the spreading of this disease. And among this disease, so integrated disease management we are adopt. So this integrated disease management for angular leaf spot cotton is see here. So we should observe the regular monitoring of the crop of cotton. At the same time, we are applied chemical control. In this chemical control, the carbendazim. Carbendazim is nothing but fungicide, carbendazim and benzothiazole. So these are the chemical groups. The chemical control is also applied. Even though along with this chemical control, the biological control also we can use, especially PGPR, which means the Bacillus and Pseudomonas, Streptomyces, and the fungal genera like Trichoderma viridae. So Trichoderma is also belongs to fungal species, which is also used for the pest control, biological pest control. So this is used as a biological control method. Okay. At the same time, the resistant varieties of these cottons. So some of the resistant varieties are MCU10, L604, and L389. So these are the varieties of cottons which are resistant to the angular leaf spot cotton, angular leaf spot disease. And along with this, quarantine methods also very, very important. Quarantine methods. So these quarantine methods are very, very important because this is the exclusion of the pathogen. Whenever we are applied these quarantine methods, the exclusion of the pathogen. At the same time, in this quarantine method, we have to use tree treatment method by the usage of H2SO4. What is the H2SO4? Sulfuric acid, H2SO4 means sulfuric acid. 100 ml per kg with biofungicides or any systemic fungicides we can use. So in these quarantine methods. At the same time, cultural practices also very, very important. Cultural practices. So what are the cultural practices we are going to apply? Whenever the time of the sowing, at the time of the September to November months, we are use this type of quarantine methods also. At the same time, we must apply for the crop rotation methods in the same land. For the one season or for 1 year, we are cultivated the cotton crop. Then the next what we can say the consequential year, next year you should change the crop like sorghum or any other monocotyledon plants. So this cotton crop belongs to dicot crop, and at the same time sorghum and alfalfa and other onion crops, they are belongs to monocotyledon plants. So this crop rotation methods is also very suitable for the control of the this type of diseases. And at the same time we have to apply the irrigation management also. Irrigation management is also suitable for the control of this disease management method. And excessive application of the certain organic manures, and then field sanitation, incorporation of the compost is also very, very important for this integrated disease management control for the angular leaf spot cotton. So these are the some important slides. Now we are going to clearly discuss about the angular leaf spot cotton. So this angular leaf spot cotton is caused by one of the bacterial
Sir,
or
excuse me,
bacteria.
sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Please repeat that picture once again.
Okay.
In
This
this, I
one?
have doubt. Yes, sir. In this, I have use of resistant varieties cultivar.
Yeah. So these resistance varieties means the varieties, they are capable for the resistance to the angular leaf spot disease. So they are MCU10 is the one variety of these cotton seeds, and L604 is one type of the cotton seeds. Am I right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So these are the varieties. L604 is one type of variety. L389 is one type of varieties. These are capable for the control.
These are hybridized, like.
Not only hybridized, but they are ability to resist from that angular leaf spot disease.
Okay, okay,
So
sir.
without applying any chemicals, without using any biological treatment, these varieties have the resistance power for controlling of this angular leaf spot disease. So the disease free, which means they are disease free varieties. They are control this disease. They are resistant to this disease. They are protect from this disease. These varieties. That means, am I right? So
Yes, sir.
whenever we are sowing or whenever we are choosing the cotton seeds, we must choose these type of varieties for the angular leaf spot cotton resistance varieties. Okay. Now the clear discussion related to this angular leaf spot cotton disease. So this angular leaf spot cotton disease caused by one of the bacterial pathogen. Am I right? So this bacterial pathogen, it is caused. It is angular leaf spot cotton. Also, we can call it as bacterial blight disease. So is found all the major cotton producing areas of the world, not only in our India, not only a specific district in our Telangana, not only a specific area of the southern region, not only specific region of the northern region, but the entire world is facing this angular leaf spot cotton disease problem. However, it remains a potentially important disease because of the variability of the pathogen and the appearance of the new races. Remember, my dear friends, the disease also caused by different pathogens, not only the Xanthomonas, Axanopodas, Malvacearum. So this Malvacearum is one of the variety. But at the same time, some of the other variable, other pathogen is also causes for this angular leaf spot cotton disease. The main cause of yield loss, the main cause is yield loss, is the black arm symptom, which results the loss of the fruiting branches. Without fruiting branches, the yield is also going to decrease. So we cannot reach the after fertile cotton we are unable to bring from this crop. So that's why without this disease, or whenever the disease is affecting our crop, will going to yield loss. So yield is lost, then automatically we are financially, economically, we are also going to loss. Entire crop is going to affect this disease. At the same time, along with this black or symptom, ball rot can occur when bacterium is introduced through carpel wall. Have you ever heard term carpel? Carpels. Carpels. So the carpels. So these carpels wall on the stylet of insects, such as species Disedricus. Disedricus is one type of the insects. These are the species which are introduced of this ball rot disease or this bacterial pathogen. Am I right? So the bacterial pathogen was introduced by the insect, the species of Disedricus. Okay, Disdercus. Disdercus, one of the species, belongs to insect which is introduced through the carpel wall, of the cotton. In our India, how much percentage of the losses were observed from at 1971? According to Verma and Singh, these are the scientists who studied and reported in our India in 1971, more than 5 to 20% of the losses were observed in the crop cultivating in our India, especially cotton crop. According to Measurement Roch in 1992, after 1971, they are also reported that whenever the disease intensities 56.4 to 53.2% resulted losses from 25 to 0.8% and 23.68% respectively, according to Measurement Ross. Okay, at the same time, the bacterial blight continues to cause substantial losses in India, where losses 22, 27 have been reported in 1980 and 1992. So these studies, we are observed that the India per annum or per crop, how much percentage is going to lose? 20 to 27%. 20 to 27%. So in this slide shows not only in our India but also all over the country, especially in the tropical regions, not northern region, my dear friends. Remember, the northern region, there are no pathogens we are observed. The green colored they are the angular leaf spot cotton disease areas. Am I clear? I hope you clearly understood. This is the world map, Audible, clearly visible.
Yes, sir.
So what we are observed in this slide, anybody? See here. This is the African region, So this is the equatorial region, So equatorial region and the southern region is 100% affected by this angular leaf spot cotton disease. Whereas this is the northern region, The entire northern region, am I right? So this northern region, we are not able to identify, or they are not able to susceptible. They are not able to sustain. Why? Because the temperature is one of the best cause for the rapid spread out of our angular leaf spot cotton disease. So temperature, how much temperature is very suitable for this disease? How much temperature? See here. Temperature.
25 degrees.
Yeah, 25 degrees centigrade or Celsius is the suitable environment for the rapid development of this pathogen. So that's why the southern region and the equatorial region is a very suitable area of the pathogen. But northern region somewhat better compared to equatorial region and southern region. Am I clear? Is it right
Yes,
or not?
sir.
Is it right or not?
Right, sir.
So the world map is clearly explains, self-explanatory, clearly explanatory. So temperature is one of the best cause for the spread over the disease, entire the crop plants of cotton. Okay, then So in the favorable conditions, infection may be spread from the seedling cotyledon or the leaf onto the petiole and then to the main stem, leading to seedling mortality in susceptible cultivars. So what we are observed, so the disease favorable conditions, the infection may spread from the not only the matured plant, from seedling onwards. Whenever we are sowing of the cotton seed, from that period onwards, this disease slowly spread from the cotyledon to leaf, then only petiole, then only main stem, and the entire plant. Am I right? Then after the mature plant, the older plant, the lesions can griddle the main branches, causing break with the loss of leaves and fruiting branches. So this phase we can call as black arm disease. So in this black arm, the appearance of the affected petioles and branches, the symptoms we are clearly showed are observed on the petioles and branches. Okay, they are going to blackened color, blackened color. So black colored we are observed on the plants, and sometimes the infection on leaf occurs. The water soaked tissue which later turns black color, and either side of the main veins also. So this season or this period we can call as vein blight phase or vein blight disease phase. Okay, so in this phase the veins are going to turn into black color. Am I right? So you are observed in this image. What you observed, Amma?
It is affected by bacterial pathogen.
Very good. Bacterial infected cotton bolls. So whenever, see here, so this is the primary stage of the symptoms we are observed on the surface of the cotton boll. So whenever the whenever the season is the rapid growing of this spreading of this disease, the entire cotton boll is going to turn into black color. Then afterwards, this cotton boll is not able to immature, and then automatically the cotton fiber is the white colored fibers is going to turn into brown color and blackish color. Am I right? So in older plants, water soaked lesions can occur the bracts of the epicalyx and more commonly on the developing balls. My dear friends, remember, see here. So these are the calyx, these are the calyx. These are the calyx. So this area, I will show. I hope you calyx and epicalyx, you know about the terms. Am I clear? See here. So these are the calyx, These are the calyx. And these are the epicalyx, Epicalyx. So epicalyx region, see here. So epicalyx region is also going to turn into brown or black color, Am I right? So then bacterial ball rot begins as roughly spherical water-soaked spots on the ball surface, which can expand more than 1 centimeter in diameter, and susceptible cultivars become black as they age, penetrating the ball cortex, cause internal ball rots. So this blight bacterium can also be introduced into the young ball during feeding on the seed by the cotton strainer. So this is the insect, Cotton strainer is one type of insect. So this insect name, we know that the species of Dysdercus. Dysdercus is one type insect. So this insect is the cotton strainer. So this is whenever going to feed on the seed, then automatically the blight of the bacterium can introduce to the balls. So this causes the lint. Lint. Have you ever turned lint, Amma? Lint. Have you ever heard this term? Lint. Anybody? Lint. So our cotton fibers are two types of the fibers we are observed in the cotton bolls. One is long, slender, whitish color, hair-like structures we are observed, or fibers we are observed in the cotton bolls. That we can call as lint. What we can say that? Lint. At the same time, the shorter and thicker fibers we are observed in the cotton bolls on the surface of the seeds. That fibers we can call as fuzz. What we can say that, my dear friend? Fuzz. Are you follow my class?
Yes, sir.
So lint is the larger and longer, slender and whitish hair-like structures. It is nothing but our cotton fiber, you know. At the same time, along with this lint, the shorter, thicker, and the cotton fibers we can call as fuzz. So two types of the fibers we are observed on the surface of the cotton seeds. So larger and slender and hair-like structures, fibers we can call as lint, and the short nature and the short and thick nature fibers we can call as fuzz. So how many types of the fibers we are observed on the surface of the seeds of the cotton? Two types. One is lint, the another one is
Fuzz.
fuzz. Very good, my dear friends. Lint and fuzz. So we are using in the medicinal or in the pharmacy, okay, and we are using in the making of the what we can say, the pillows and other cloths by using of this lint fibers only, my dear friends. By the use of this lint fibers, not fuzz, my dear friends. Lint fibers. Okay. So the lint color become stained yellow or brown color. So whenever the cotton strainer is introduced this bacterial blight into the cotton bolls, the lint color is going to change into whitish to yellow or brown color. Whitish to yellow or brown color. Am I right? Okay. So this is the cotton boll, how the effect with this strainer or boll strainer or this Dercas species of the insects. So some of the symptoms we are observed on the surface of the fruits and leaves, even though stem also. So this image shows about the which type of symptoms observed on the fruit, or which type of symptoms we are observed on the leaves or even the stem. So the lesions of the black or brown lesions we are observed on the fruit, and some of the lesions like scab and pitting. So these type of lesions we are observed in the fruit, on the fruit. Even though the abnormal colors like brown or like rust, like spots and black spots we are observed on the leaves surfaces. And even though the abnormal forms also, not only color but also abnormal forms also we are observed in the leaves, and abnormal patterns. So color, forms and patterns we are observed in the leaves. At the same time, necrotic areas. Some of the friends are asking me, sir, what is the meaning of necrotic areas? Necrotic areas, which is nothing but the tissues of the cotton bolls or tissues of the leaf surface area is going to die or decay or decompose. Decay or destroy or decomposed. So these symptoms are this type of area we can call as necrotic areas. And at the same time, the stem color is also going to discoloration of the bark. The outer surface of the stem or bark color is going to change or discoloration, brown to blackish color. And the causal organism of this leaves, angular leaf spot cotton is Xanthomonas axonopodis Plant variety, my dear friends. Plant variety. Boliye. Come on, tell me. Are you feel bored?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So Malvacearum. Why we can say Malvacearum? Just because this plant belongs to which family? Malvaceae. This plant belongs to Malvaceae family.
Always.
Yeah. So the casual organism it is a gram-negative bacteria. Okay. Have you ever heard term gram-negative, gram-positive bacteria? According to
Yes,
Christian
sir.
Gram, Christian Gram has stained the bacteria. In the staining process, the coloration of the bacteria we can call as the purple color which shown the bacterial cell wall. That bacteria we can call as the gram-positive bacteria. With the absence of the color, the discoloration, or without having the purple color of the bacteria cell wall, so that bacteria we can call as gram-negative bacteria. So this the Xanthomonas axonopodis bacteria, which is a gram-negative bacteria, and this bacteria is having the flagella, which is a motile one, and this is the rod-shaped bacteria. Have you ever heard term rod-shaped? Rod-shaped.
Yes, sir. Rod-shaped bacteria.
The spherical or rod-shaped or comma shape, even though the spiral shape, So rod-shaped bacteria we can call as bacillus, bacillus or bacilli. Even though this Xanthomonas axonopodis does not show the spores, they are non-spore forming bacteria. Generally, bacteria they are produce the spores, endospores or exospores, endospores. The spore formation we are observed. But this Xanthomonas axonopodis bacteria is not able to produce the spores. So this bacteria we can call as non-spore forming bacteria. And it is a motile bacteria. So that's why by the use of flagellum, which is moves from one place to another place. Okay. So this single polar flagellum. Have you ever heard term the single polar flagellum? Bipolar flagellum, single polar
Yes, sir.
polar flagellum. Amphitrachus or monotrichus, Monotrichus we can call as a
Single polar flagellum.
Polar flagellum bacteria we can call as monotrichus bacteria. Even though what we can say that both the polar regions, the flagellum which are present on the both poles, we can call as Amphitrachus bacteria. Am I right? So number of flagellum which are present in the one pole, that bacteria we can call as Lopotrichus. Am I clear? You are already studied in your bacteria class, in our first semester. Is it right or not? And the classification of this bacteria is the kingdom bacteria. According to kingdom, I hope you heard about the term 5 kingdom classification or 6 kingdom classification. R.H. Whittaker and Carl Woese, R.H. Whittaker 5 kingdom classification and Carl Woese 6 kingdom classification you have already studied, So this bacteria, phylum is Proteobacteria, the class that is the Gamma Proteobacteria, and order Xanthomonidae family, Xanthomonidaceae, and genus Xanthomonas, species Axonopodis, plant variety Malvacearum. Am I clear? So this is the classification of this or systemic position of this casual organism. I hope you clearly understood about this slide. Anybody clear? Are you follow my class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the laboratory, by the use of the culture of the Xanthomonas axonopodis plant variety Malvacearum, these are grown inside the laboratory. The cultures within the petri dish we are observed inside the petri dish how the colonies of this Xanthomonas axonopodis plant variety Malvacearum we are observed in this petri plates. And the host plants of this casual organism is not only the Gossypium species, but also some of the other species also, they are used as a host or acted as a host. Number one, Cebopentandra. So Cebopentandra we can also call as copac plant or copac tree. మనం తెలుగులో ఏమంటామంటే Cebopentandra అంటే మనం బూరుగ చెట్టు అంటాం. బూరుగ Okay, so Seba pentandra copper tree. At the same time, the 2 to 5 species. 2 to 5 means the Gossypium species. Gossypium means cotton seeds, cotton plants. So Gossypium arborum, that is we can call Gossypium barbidens, that is also we can call as Gaulini cotton, and Gossypium herbaceum, short staple cotton, Gossypium hirsutum. This cotton we can call as Bourbon cotton. Bourbon cotton, and also these along with this Gossypium species, Seba pentandra, which is act as a host plant or species effect. At the same time, this Xanthoponus axenopodis plant variety Malvacearum casual organism affects not only the Gossypium species but also Seba pentandra and along with Jatropha curcas, Jatropha plant. Have you ever heard Jatropha plant? Jatropha. So the Jatropha is used as a biodiesel plant, biodiesel. Have you ever heard this term biodiesel? Biodiesel. So this biodiesel is produced from these seeds of the Jatropha curcas, especially the uncultivated lands or the wastelands or hilly areas used as a cultivation of the Jatropha curcas by the our government, state government, even to the governments, along with this agriculture department, is encourage the farmers, their wastelands used by the cultivation of these Jatropha curcas plants or plantation, which is very important for the production of the biodiesel. So this biodiesel is very useful for the pollution-free fuel, and also which is produced from biologically produced, from Jatropha curcas seeds. Along with this Jatropha curcas, some of the other plants used as a biodiesel plant, like Pongamia pinnata or Derris indica, Kanuga chettu antam. Are you ever seen Kanuga chettu, Pongamia pinnata or Derris indica? So that is also, the seeds also used as a making of the production of the biodiesel, Okay, so the disease cycle of this Xanthomonas or this angular leaf spot cotton disease, whenever the infection we are observed on the leaf surface. So leaf, the vesicular tissues from leaf surface to reach the vesicular surfaces, then automatically the development of the V-shaped lesions we are observed on the V-shaped lesions. V-shaped lesions we are observed on the surface of the leaf. Okay, at the time of the maturation of the disease, then automatically the infection is from leaf to entire plant. So that we can call as a systemic infection of the plants. So after this, the complete infected plant seeds, whenever we are used for soaking, so this automatically the seeds when going to germinate to produce the seedlings, and then automatically the new plant is also infected by this disease or by infected by this Xanthomonas pathogen. At the same time, these infections we are observed. The systematic plants when the diseased area or diseased plant plots are reached or dispersed by the wind or by the rain or by the water splash. When it is going to invasion of susceptible host, then automatically the leaf surface to the different areas of the plant, then automatically systemic infection we are observed through via root also. So this is about the disease cycle. Okay, then what is management? How to control this disease? So the control measurement is one of the most important for the against of the bacterial blight disease. So this is very necessary for the cultivars of the are cultivated by the farmers whenever all the areas of our world. So in all the main area of the main cotton growing areas of the world, the control is achieved mainly through the use of the resistant varieties. Some of the friends are already asked me, so what are the resistant varieties? Resistant varieties means which is protect from against from this disease. angular leaf spot disease, or this protest against this, protect against this Xanthomonas pathogen. So which have reduced the disease to minor status on upland cottons in many countries, whereas where it was once a serious problem. To ensure that it remains minor disease, it is necessary to avoid introduction of exotic races, my dear friends. By the use of the cotton seeds or the varieties of these cottons, we must use only in our demographic regions. But whenever we are cultivation or introduced from exotic races, means or out of the our country or other countries, we are imported from other countries, the quarantine methods are not applicable with the perfect region, then automatically the pathogen can imported to in our country, and the spread rapidly among the crops of the our cultivars. So this is one of the most serious problem of the control of this disease spread over the world, not only in India but also world. Then at the same time, the host plant resistance also important. So in previous slide, what we are observed, resistant varieties. Some of the friends are already asking me how this resistant is occurred in this specific type of this varieties like Gossypium hirsutum, the plant varieties punctatum, and the Gossypium barbadens. These are the resistance differentiation we are observed. So Gossypium hirsutum plant varieties punctatum is very high resistance compared to the Gossypium barbadens. So why? Because these resistance difference between these two species, just because according to Knight and other scientists, they are reported by the just because of the genes, the internal genes like B genes. They are B2, they are B3. Am I clear? Are you follow my class? B genes. So these B genes are very important for the resistance to the pathogen of the Xanthomonas malvacearum. So, but not only these species, but also the varieties the Sudan region, Sudan region and some of the South American region, even though the USA, so that is the United States of America, is also the shows about the immunity is varies from the other countries. So in USA, they are observed the stable immunity over the 20 years of the Tomcat varieties. Tomcat varieties, according to Bellas and LG, 1990, they are reported. These Tomcat varieties and other were immune just because of they are tested by the which genes, B2, B3, and B7. So these are the
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Your voice is not audible.
Maybe sir has left due to signal problems.
Sir, your audio is not visible, sir.
Actually, sir has left the meeting.
Okay, am I audible? Amma, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Audible, sir.
So ఎక్కడి నుంచి మీకు నేను లిఫ్ట్ అయినమ్మా? ఇది ఉన్నదా? ఇది ఇది విన్నారా మీరు? లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ సిమ్టమ్స్. అమ్మా, anybody can respond?
Yes, sir.
This is completed causal organism.
Yes, sir.
This host plants also disease cycle, disease management. Are you listen?
Yes, sir, we are listening.
అమ్మా,
Yeah,
ఇది
sir.
మీకు ఇక్కడ వరకు నేను ఎప్పుడు లెఫ్ట్ అయ్యాను ఒకసారి చెప్పండి. డిసీజ్ సైకిల్ చెప్పానా? డిసీజ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చెప్పానా? అమ్మా, హలో.
Sir, host plants resistance దగ్గర left air, sir.
Right. Okay. So some of the host plants, host plant resistance. All right. So host plant resistance. So compared to, okay, am I audible? So some of the species, that is the Gossypium hirsutum or Gossypium barbadens, compared to these two species, Gossypium hirsutum plant varieties, punctatum is very high resistance. Compared to these Gossypium barbadens. These are some differences. At the same time, the resistance caused by some of the different genes. They are, so the B genes, like from B1 to B10 genes are responsible for the resistance to the pathogen. So according to some of the other scientists like Knight and Wallace and the Hillocks, these are the scientists, they are reported that in Sudan and some of the American, South America and the USA, these are the genes, they are responsible for the resistance to the pathogen. And some of the cultural methods also we are applicable or we are applied. Cultural methods also we are applied. That is the crop rotation and deep ploughing and soil sanitization and seed treatment. So that is with carbonism and use infection-free and certified seeds. And at the same time, late sowing, early thinning, and good tillage, and early irrigation, and addition to the potash to the soil is also very important for the control of the disease. Even though they destroy the infected plant debris also. So the diseased plant pots should be identified and separated from the healthy plants, and it should definitely destroy the plant pots. And at the same time, we have to apply IPM programs. IPM means integrated pest management programs. IPM means, Amma, are you follow?
Yes, sir.
So integrated pest management programs should be applied. So in California, USA, in 1950, 1960, they are very successful applicable of this IPM programs for all the different diseases. Even though some of the antibiotics also we can use, tetracycline, streptomycin, sulfate, and pentamycin, and poshamycin. These are some of the antibiotics when we are going to spray from 3 to 4 intervals of the every 15 days gap. So when we are spraying this antibiotics, this disease can control. At the same time, chemicals like copper containing chemicals we should spray. We should spray on the plant. It can also recommended for the control of this disease. At the same time, acid delaminating followed by the seed dressing, that is a carbendazim. Carbendazim, it is a fungicide, fungal side and other bactericide also, from 3 to 4 gram per kg. Okay. At the same time, foliar spray also we can apply. So this is about the leaf spot cotton of angular leaf spot cotton of paddy. Okay. Then the next important disease, that is bacterial blight of paddy. Continue cheyana rep cheppalama.
Sir, let's continue tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay. Your interest is important. So if you are not interested, tomorrow we'll continue, because 1 hour time is up. Otherwise, I will continue. Choose anyone. Tomorrow, continue. Tomorrow or continue.
Sir.
Cheppandi. Okay. Tomorrow I will continue. My dear friends, I will stop here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, Amma, all the best. Tomorrow, let's we should come on the same time from 8 to 9 p.m. Okay. Good night.
Thank you, sir.